Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is just after midnight on the 4th of August, 2015. This is Thor. He is an Asian forest scorpion. Despite the fact that he looks black like Johnny Cash, he is actually a very, very deep green. In fact, the pictures I've posted of what they look like under the UV light, they look kind of a metallic or a neon green. It's the pigment in their shell that causes that reflection of that light. Um, as most of you know, that we've lost two of our scorpions this past week. One of them who was sick for a little while, and then one of them just basically mourned herself to death at the loss of her roomie, her neighbor. Um, it's been very tough on me. I do everything I can to make sure that these guys are taken care of and try to teach people. And I'm still learning about the scorpions. I don't know half the stuff I need to, but it's a learning thing. I don't think you ever quit learning. Um, this little guy here, earlier I was upset and was crying about the loss of Raisin, the one that passed away. She passed away late Sunday night, and he went over to his wall of his room, which that's his room now. I'm fixing to wash his water bowl out because it's feeding day, but he was standing on his tail, tapping his claw to get my attention. And when I brought him out, I thought that he just wanted to just to walk around the bed. They like to walk around on the bed, and or if they're cold, they'll go hide in the blanket. But he has stayed by and on me since earlier today. I brought him out and put him back up when I laid down for a nap, but he heard me talking on the phone to Wayne and wanted to come back out. um, he is a very, very calm little boy. I was asked earlier about how do I keep him from stinging me, and you can see he does have a sharp stinger. There's no denying that at all. I'm very careful when I handle them. Uh, they this breed of scorpion, the Asian Forest, and the Emperors, they're not an aggressive breed of scorpion. There are some, like with, all any kind of animal, that will be a little bit more aggressive in temperament than what the normal standard, if you would, is. But for the most part, these guys don't like to sting, and when they're relaxed, their tail is usually straight behind them. He is just a little bit concerned because I'm actually holding him up over the blanket versus having him down flat. But he likes to walk around and explore, and um, just a very sweet little creature. And I know some people, thanks to Hollywood and things that others have said because they didn't know um, about these guys being just a bug, or just something that doesn't have significance, which is not true. These have a purpose for being here, as all creatures do. The scorpions are very, very nice to have for pets. Again, like with the tarantulas, I wouldn't recommend them for small children. But of course, I don't recommend dogs or cats because a small child doesn't know their strength, and if they hurt the dog or cat, they could be bit by them as well. So if you do have a scorpion, I don't recommend bringing them around the little children, except for if you, like these containers that I use for their rooms. Um, Children can look at them in there. The lid is see-through, and that he can be observed. Um, these guys, they're just very sweet. I feed mine crickets. On occasion, I will give them mealworms, but a mealworm to the scorpion and tarantulas is like a candy bar to you and me. I made notice of at a pet store that the main food that they were feeding bearded dragons and different lizards were mealworms. And I asked them if they knew that these mealworms were like a candy bar for us, and they didn't know that. And it's like, it's okay to feed them as a treat, but you don't want that as their main meal source, because they're not really healthy for them to eat. An occasional treat is fine, but either feed these guys crickets, or I was trying to think of the name of the R word, but it's a specific kind of R that is bred in captivity, and they look like dominoes actually. Uh, but see, he's very quick running around, so I have to watch the little guy. I was hoping he would crawl off and do that, but see, he's just gone underneath my blanket. He'll go under there and either come out like he's doing now, or he'll go under there and lay. And I apologize that my bed's not made, but I really wasn't planning on doing a video, but I thought, well, while he's out, I'll let you guys see these creatures. As you can see, for the most part, with him walking, come here, Thor. Come here, baby. You see him walking around. His tail is laying out behind him, pretty limp. That's a sign of being, they're comfortable. They're not scared. You might see it curl a little bit when he gets to certain areas, and that's just, not really sure where he's heading. And if I'm not careful, he'll try to run off the bed. Thor, get back this way. Get by Mommy's blanket, sweetheart. Come on, Thor. You know you can't go off the edge of the bed. Come on, baby, up. I was trying to get to where you could see a little bit better. I noticed that it's dark right here. But if he gets concerned about something, if he gets spooked, that tail will curl. Like I said, these guys don't like to sting. There are exceptions to them. And I've heard that when you're stung by a scorpion, that because of the needle that's in their tail, their stinger, it's like being stabbed with a hypodermic needle. These are not venomous. They're not poisonous at all. If you ever got stung by one, it would be under the same rule like we talk about the tarantulas, that if you're ever stung, you might have a reaction if you're allergic to bee stings. There have not been any reported deaths from tarantula bites or this particular breed of scorpion. I do have friends that have scorpions that are actually in those categories of poisonous, and those I won't take. I'm sorry, someone else can rescue them. There's not as big of a demand for rescues for scorpions as there is for tarantulas. Scorpions, for the most part, people see them on the news or TV, whatever, and they're like, that's cool, and they adopt them, they keep them. Tarantulas, for some reason, see, now his tail's got a little bit of a curl to it, because I was moving stuff out of his way. But they are very, very sweet little guys, pretty docile. He's very curious right now, and he's on Wayne's blanket, and you can see over here I've got some of the tarantulas. Their deals are on the bed with me. When Wayne's out of town, I bring some of the kids over here and let them sleep on the bed with me. But Thor, come on, baby. Whoops, I gotta get back up again. Thor. But anyway, this is Thor, and if anybody knows the Avengers, if you're a Marvel Comics fan and you know the story of Odin and Thor and Loki, then you know where the name Thor comes from. I didn't name him, his daddy did. So, but I think it's a pretty good name for a scorpion. But he's just a sweet little guy. He's got a good grip on him. I don't worry about him falling off my sleeve. And I want to try to get something. I may have to set this down for a second. Come here, Thor. Come here, baby. Mommy wants to show the people on the video something. Come over here so we can see you better in the light. Come on, baby. This way. Yeah, there you go. I want to show y'all something that is just... I know it's silly to think it is so precious, but if this will focus enough to where you can see it, look at the teeny tiny toes. Their little feet kind of looks like ours. And they have real teeny tiny little toes. Whoops. You going in your room now, Thor? That's a good boy. But he didn't want to go in there. He's fixing to let me know that he'll stand up. See, there he goes. He stands up and taps on it. And, hey, I didn't want to come out. He can let himself out. He'll climb up on that, and he'll climb out of the deal if I don't put his lid back on. Mommy's got to feed your brothers and sisters, Pumpkin. Mommy will bring you out later, okay? I love you. So I'm going to put the lid back on. And don't worry, he doesn't know how to pop these lids off. If the lid's off, he can come out, but otherwise, he's in there. But he's gonna get a little fussy with me because he didn't want to go back in his room. But I need to feed the other children, if you would. It's hard to do that and watch him at the same time. But this is Thor. He is an Asian forest scorpion. I highly recommend these guys, like I recommend the tarantulas. No problem at all with keeping them. They're very easy to care for and very loving. And if you guys just could have seen earlier what happened with him, if you listen, you can hear him. He'll tap his claw on the wall. But he wanted out. And it wasn't just to crawl around. He actually wanted to come out, and he laid on my chest for the longest time, as if to say, I'm here, Mommy, I know that you're upset. So these guys are really smart, and anybody that says anything different, don't listen to them. I'm with these guys basically 24/7, so I know their temperaments and everything, and they are a wonderful, wonderful creature to have. And if you can get past the arachnophobic, or from what Hollywood makes them out to be bad guys. And also one more thing, there's a commercial for the Fiat, I believe it is, where there's a woman in a bikini, and one of these scorpions crawls across her back and takes its claw and cuts her bikini top. That is a bunch of bologna and cheese. These guys, if you're pinched by those pinchers, it's just like somebody grabbing your finger. It's more of a shock of what was that than anything. And they don't grip on real tight to hurt you. They just kind of give you a quick grab. See, now he's trying to, like, Mama, let me out. Thor, Mommy's got to feed brothers and sisters. But see how he's standing on his tail. See that? Standing on his tail, and he's going back and forth. And see if I can get where you can see him. Right there. He's trying to tell me, I want out, I want out. Not right now, Pumpkin. Not right now. but it doesn't hurt. I would believe more the end of that commercial where he drags off her bikini than the actual, snip of it. They don't bite, and as you can see, this little guy, he's pretty docile. He's curious and wants to come out and walk about for a little bit, but he's not aggressive, and he can run fast, so I have to be careful to be quick in case he almost comes off the end of the bed or something. We never want them to end up on the floor. We don't allow our tarantulas or scorpions to be on the floor. You never know what you come in from outside on your shoes or bare feet, whatever, and we don't take a chance of them being poisoned by anything you might have stepped in. When I'm in bed, my feet are underneath the blankets, not on top. That way I can pull the blankets and they can crawl on top, and I don't have to worry about if there was something on my feet. But anyway, this is Thor, and my name is Lisa Wells. I'm in North Richland Hills, Texas. Very proud cat and tarantula and scorpion mom. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Facebook. Or, my number's on there. If you have any questions and need them answered faster, you can give me a phone call. My email address is catmommy, which is spelled Katmomie, at att.net. And that's a nickname that I have from all the cats that I've had over the years, and the fact that cats come to me if I go outside. But just feel free to let me know if you have any kind of questions. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you, because more than likely I'm going to need to know at some point as well. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks again. Bye-bye.